everyone, this is Kimmy Wyatt, and welcome to this video. Here we go again. You guys, let me tell y'all a story, all true. When I found out I was a gang stalking victim, I didn't even back up. When I found out I was being spied on, I didn't even know there was a name for it. I just knew that I had cameras in my apartment, 2-bedroom, 2 baths. Stay with me. I started sleeping in my vehicle. But I don't know if it was once I found out. Make a long story short, I had a play sister. Hello, ain't ya? Although we don't talk to each other anymore, she got a condo on the next street over from me, literally. I don't know if it was east and west right now, north and south, but she was literally the next street over. And she came up with a brilliant idea. She said, sis, you can come over and take a shower over here with me. Not with her, but you know. I was like, oh my God, because I'm going to tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all this again. If another fucking car stops right here to pick me up, okay? Now, it seems something is wrong with their tires, or at least they're pretending like something is wrong. I don't know. But this is why I'm doing this video, y'all. So, I got to go back even further. Okay, I got it now. And I don't want to elaborate too much on this because this is probably going to be a part of my circumstance or evidence. TBC, let's see, the Blue Cup in the Attic, TBCITA, which is the acronyms for the Blue Cup in the Attic, circumstance or evidence. Okay, I had to back up a little bit. I started sleeping in my vehicle, slept in my vehicle for 6 months, as a matter of fact. When it started getting cold at some point, I'm freezing, my knees are knocking together. I'm like, oh my God, but God is so good. Won't he warm you up, y'all? You got enough cover or something like that, God is going to warm your ass up after a while because he's going to put you to sleep. God is so amazing. But while I was sleeping in my vehicle, I befriended or be associated an enormous amount of people. There was a place that homeless people who had a vehicle but just didn't have a home could park their vehicles and sleep. I knew about it, and I elected to park there. I wanted to be the last car in a row of cars so that I can see what was coming towards me. You know, I didn't want to be in between. Real smart, smart move. And so while out there, there was another guy. There was a guy that had a Dodge Caravan, not like me, but he had a Dodge Caravan as well. And I remember him saying, sitting on the passenger side, I remember him saying something about my tablet. It's messed up. Well, okay, here we go. I know how to work on computers and stuff. And I was like, okay, let me see what's up with it. Or I walked down there to say something to him. I think I actually walked down there to speak to him or whatever. And that's when he was telling me he couldn't get in his tablet. That's how it went. So I sat on the passenger side and I told him, well, you got a virus. I said, for one, he couldn't get on the internet. That's what it was. Y'all, I have to go back into the archives, y'all. It's not going to be a smooth story. So I sat down on the passenger side, door open, and I realized that he had a virus. I said, you got a virus. I said, and first of all, you don't even have all of your updates for your operating system. He said, huh? I said, you don't have. He had none, y'all. Go figure. And I said, I tell you what, next time I go home to get clothes and change out my stuff, I said, I will put the updates on your tablet. No problem. But, and I told him Wednesday, y'all, I'm telling you might hear me changing up stuff because it was Wednesday, because I remember him saying, it's Wednesday, we're supposed to take my tablet. But I understood. he didn't know me that well, and what do I look like taking his tablet home to put updates, because the reason why I had to go home was because I had the internet service at my apartment. And I knew it would take a minute, because he didn't have any. It was 114 updates he needed. Okay. Microsoft. So, security patches. So I told him, I said, I'll do it. So when he said, I thought we were going to go take my tablet, I obliged because that's his tablet, but I'm still going to help him. And I understood, what do I look like taking his tablet and away from him, and he may never see me again. So I said, come on, let's go. So I drove, he drove. He parked on the side of me at the apartment complex. Y'all, I'm getting to it, y'all. When he parked on the side of me at the apartment complex, we're walking over. Y'all heard this? See what I'm saying? Oh, won't God show it to you? Won't he show it to you? I have been hearing this shit all day. Stay tuned. This is why I'm doing this video. Cars spinning around and vehicles in the motherfucking street, going around in circles because I haven't been at home. And it's not that I haven't been at home. See, usually when I'm not at home, they can find me. Someone's going to find me. I'm in this spot, that spot. They all on the lookout, but they couldn't find me today. And as a matter of fact, you guys, it's after midnight the next day. I'm on my way home. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Where the hell has she been? You guys got to understand, it's a certain race of motherfuckers that got wives and shit. I don't care what the fuck they have going on. They think they're married to you because they've been seeing your ass for the last 11 up to 20 years. 20 years total, y'all. And when I don't want to, let me not put the cart before the horse. That's why I'm telling y'all this story. So when we were crossing over, apartment complex, you can park on this side. It's like a row of cars. You got cars on this side, you got cars on that side, right? So when we were crossing over to the other side where the cars are so we can go to my apartment, the side closest to my apartment. That's the first time I ever said that like that, because I'm like, how can I explain? The side closest to my apartment. We came around, came up to my apartment, and I'm a little hungry. I knew I had some. I like you guys. I like salmon and crackers. I do salmon and crackers, and I'm talking salmon. I love salmon that you bake, but I also like salmon and crackers. I even hooked my uncle up with it. Years ago, over 15 years ago. I remember telling him, or 10, at least 10. I said, Unc, you got to try salmon in the can, in parentheses, with crackers. Straight out the can. And so when I got there, I knew I had some salmon. I knew I had some crackers. So I asked him if he wanted some. He thought I was talking about salmon croquette. I said, oh, no. We're not going to be here that long. I'm fixing to put these updates on your computer. And they were already up downloading. Okay. And I said, we leaving up out of here. You hear me? And he said, no, I'm okay. But then he changed his mind and said, yeah, I'll take some. So I gave him half of the can. I had half of the can, and we had some crackers. But what I'm forgetting to tell you guys, which is duh, I shouldn't even told you all of that. What happened when we were crossing over to the other side of the cars that's closest to the apartment complex to go in the apartment. Here comes, I'm talking, it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yes, it is. Sun is up, bright as hell. Let me tell y'all what happened. I'm going to get in the median. Y'all, because, it's a lot of bushes and stuff over here. And I don't want none of my husbands to come, my husband that I haven't married to come out the bushes. You hear me? Y'all, when we got in that parking lot, he parked, I parked. And as we were crossing to get to the other side, the cars can come through, straight through, and they'll let you through, stop for you or whatever, that kind of thing. A regular apartment complex. 2 trucks. The parking lot made an L. So even though you parked on the long side of the L, you can look and see most of the cars on the short side of the L. The rest of them were behind the apartment building. Actually, the one I lived in. And so when we look both ways, you know, to cross to the other side so we can go in, all of a sudden, you hear, and this would have scared some people, because now that I know my phones were being hacked into, now that I know the reason why they were wondering who the hell he was, and all phones being hacked into. Now I knew my phones were being hacked into, but not to the degree. I didn't know about SIM card mirroring and all that. You know, I'm done now. I'm done. Okay, I can write 3 damn or more books on gang stalking. So when we crossing over, here comes. It was either 3 trucks and 2 cars, or 2 trucks and 3 cars. We're looking at them. The reason what made us look is these idiots in the trucks got in that fucking parking lot and were doing donuts. All the smoke was coming, you know, going around in fucking circles, man. I'm talking smoke going up in the fucking air. And I looked at him. He said, what the hell? Because it shocked him. He said, what the hell is this? And he put his hands up like Jesus on the cross. I'm telling you, he put his hands up like, no, surrender. Like the police, when the police tell you to freeze and you put your hands up, and they tell you to put your hands up. He did that move and hadn't done a damn thing. And I said, I told him, I said, you didn't believe me, did you? I was so calm. He said, he looked at me. He said, what is going on? He said, this like some shit from a movie. What? I'm talking, y'all. It was, y'all. I was already at that point where nothing shocked me. I was already there. I had just had that much stuff going on that, really? So I told him, I said, you didn't believe me, did you? And he looked at me. He said, who are you? He said that to me. And he said, oh my God. He said, you guys, it scared the shit out of this dude. Grown man. That's how loud the trucks were. That's how much of an idiot they were acting. They were going around in circles, you know, like, because hacking, in hindsight, they had been hacking in my phone. Who is this dude she's taking to the apartment? You know, blah, blah, blah. Taking my energy, virtually raping me in my sleep. Spiritual spouses, the whole fucking thing. Y'all stay with me. And there's somebody over in these bushes. I heard them. Fast forward. My sis, and I love her, and I wish I could talk to her. My play sis. We lost touch with each other. We had an argument, and I haven't talked to my Insha. I haven't talked to her in years. But she moved into a condo on the next street over from mine. And she said, hey, sis. She said, you can come and take a bath. Because I'm going to tell you something. This one right here, I don't give a fuck what no one says about me. I love to shower and know how to. Do you hear me? And I'm going to take, if my life was normal, none of these rumors or all this shit would be going around, because guess what? It shouldn't be going around anyway. Because guess what? I'm going to take 2, sometimes 3 showers a day. And if not a day, you know, I wouldn't do it every day. Now, that's taking it to another level. But I would do it. I can't stand being dirty in the normal realm of my life. Okay? That's why when people are talking, you know, they talk noise and shit, they don't know you at all. They don't know your story. They don't even want to know your glory, but they're going to find out whether they want to or not. And that's when we went upstairs and all that. And he was like, you know, I had to put him out my apartment and stop putting his downloading his updates, because I did not want these people to know who he was to me. Smart move. I just wanted them to know that there was this man, you know, and that was coming to my apartment. Now, you didn't need, you know, being a female, y'all see where I'm going? And when we got upstairs, he was still shocked. He was panting, breathing hard. He was like, oh my God. And he kept saying, who are you? And I said, I'm just myself. You know, I said, I tried to tell y'all I'm being spied on in my apartment. And these idiots think that we're married, and I've never done anything with them, never kissed them or anything like that. But they've seen me in the nude. Oh, Jesus. And likewise, you know, now that I've gone back into my history of being a gang stalking victim, they've seen me have sex. Stay tuned. Please go and join my playlist on YouTube called The Blue Cup in the Attic. And you guys, I just deleted be careful. I just deleted a YouTube channel from YouTube, one that I was not going to keep. And because they will only allow two phone numbers, two YouTube channels to be associated with a phone number. Okay, stay with me. So I said, you know what? I'll just delete this one because I really need the Blue Cup in the Attic. Now, I already had the Blue Cup in the Attic, but I was wondering why I could not post videos longer than 15 minutes, considering it was a sub channel of my channel. And God is good. I kept wondering why I kept uploading, get to the end, and it got, you know, it wouldn't go through. Left it alone for a while. And just the other day, I looked and noticed that there was a learn more link, and I clicked it, and it said that you can only have 2 YouTube channels per telephone number. Okay. And I'm like, okay, let me delete this one. Guess what? When I deleted that one, guess what else it deleted? It deleted the Blue Cup in the Attic one that I had created with the URL, the Blue Cup in the Attic. So I have videos telling you guys to go to that YouTube channel. And I also noticed that same day, I didn't know why they were apologizing and saying that if you lost a YouTube channel, it's going to be up and all that should be fixed. It's been fixed or whether. I didn't know what they were talking about. Now I know. If you delete a YouTube channel and you have more than one, it's probably going to delete another one with it. So I had to delete that YouTube channel that I'm referencing in order to be able to verify the Blue Cup in the Attic so I could post longer videos. Well, it deleted the Blue Cup in the Attic as well. So you guys, I put in a request for them to restore it because obviously it's a glitch from what I was reading from other people. So you guys, it's probably going to be the Blue Cup in the Attic, but as it stands right now, the new URL for the Blue Cup in the Attic is TBCITA, the Blue Cup in the Attic. Okay, I had to say that, you know. So if you're looking for, because what I'm doing is all of the videos for the Blue Cup in the Attic, I'm going to take them off of my main channel. Skin and hair and being stalked, they don't go together. Okay. So, and everything else I do that doesn't have, I'm not going to give them the glory of, although I'm the victim, I'm not going to give them the glory of posting any more content. I'll still post some things because I got a lot of videos to transfer over, but I'm not going to give them the glory of putting their ish in my business, and my business is, okay? So there's a new channel. And that channel is now, if they give me the other one back, I will make a decision as to which one of those I want to keep. But as it stands, I not only have the Blue Cup in the Attic at the Blue Cup in the Attic, but I also have at TBCITA, which is the acronyms for the Blue Cup in the Attic, okay? So getting back to this. So all of this black smoke is going up in the air, you guys. They were acting a bona fide, certified fucking fool. You hear me? I don't even know them. I'm not married to them. Okay? They saw my good goods and been jacking off and doing all this shit in the spirit realm, et cetera, and just attach themselves, their fucking self to me. Perverts. Okay? So, when my sis told me I can come and shower at her place, I'm like, oh my God, sis, thank you. She knew I showered, She knew I wanted to shower like I wanted. I stopped showering. I would go to a shelter and shower because I still had my card for that shelter, and it was still valid. And so I took a shower, y'all. It felt so good. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. So, but before I got in the shower, here we go, 1945 in. Before I got in the shower, my sis had just gotten off of work or something, and she said, um, or it was time to shower because we had been talking, and everything. And we were both charging our cell phones on her. She had a little mini bar, little bar that goes across in the kitchen, from the kitchen and the, one bedroom, And I said, she had one part of the plug, I had another part, and both of our phones are sitting up there charging. So when my sis, she said, you want to get in the shower? I said, no, you know what? I said, I have some stuff I need to listen to from my apartment that I haven't listened to all the way. I said, girl, you go on and get in the shower, and I'll get in the shower after you. Let me interject again. What I wanted to listen to was audio from me leaving my apartment one night, and I needed to go to my aunt and uncle's, and I needed to go to the neighborhood store, major store, but it was a neighborhood version. Y'all know what I'm talking about. National store. And then they have the neighborhood versions of the stores. I knew that I would be gone for about 30 something minutes. And I said to myself, okay, I'll be gone about 30 something minutes. So what I decided to do, you guys, was I used to record on a Samsung phone that recorded. It was off the chain. This phone was very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to get back in here because okay, let me go on around here. This phone, sensitive, that's the word. It could hear the kids outside playing, recording, and very sensitive and very wonderful for recording audio. And so what I did, I knew I was being spied on. I knew I had cams in my apartment. I knew it was more than one. So what I did, I turned it on, and I plopped down on the couch before I left, like, I'm tired, And I turned it on and turned on the voice recorder. And I slid the phone behind a pillow. And I still have those recordings, and I will be playing them for you guys, okay? Got to transfer some stuff to video format. A lot of stuff to video format. That's why I tell y'all, join my channels. Join the channel I just said, TBCITA. Just look up TBCITA on YouTube. And like I said, that's the acronyms for the Blue Cup in the Attic. And join the channel because, y'all, it's some stuff. It's a video there, but it's a test video. And you want to see that video because I did not post it on KimMeWyatt. But it will be deleted because I wasn't going to post it. So what was I saying? Oh, my God. It was so much. Let me step down. I don't know where I was, y'all. But, and so when I left the apartment, before I left, I slid that phone, knowing how sensitive it is, behind a pillow on my couch. Okay, so that it could record. I knew they were coming in my apartment when I wasn't at home. And I'm not going to tell you when I got back, I'm not going to how can I say this? I know what's recorded on it. I've heard it more than once. Ding! But I'm not going to tell you right here what occurred. But I will say this. The reason why I didn't listen to all of it before going over, I had plenty of time. From the time I recorded that recording, that audio, and the time my sister and my play sister invited me to come to her place to shower, I guess a span of a week and a half to up to 3 weeks had commenced. I'll say about 2 weeks. The reason why I didn't listen to all of it was because, and I was right on time. I said I would be gone 30 minutes. I was gone 31 minutes. So to retrieve the phone, I plopped back down on the couch. I had gone to the store to get something and went and visit my aunt and uncle. And I plopped back down on the couch again and reached my hand back there and retrieved the phone and then turned it off. I didn't, of course, I'm not dumb. I didn't listen to the audio or attempt to listen to the audio right then. I waited. Now, when I started listening to the audio, it seemed like about 7 minutes, up to 7 minutes in, no one had come in. So I'm like, okay, I'll listen to the rest of this later. Probably no one came in. You know what I'm saying? But I still wanted to listen to all of it. So what I did was, when she said, do you want to go out and get it? She said, you want to get in the shower now? I said, no. I said, sis, you go on and get in the shower. That was the reason for that, because I wanted to listen to the rest of the audio. Okay. Y'all, I'll tell y'all in another video what I heard. When I tell y'all ass, there are so many damn females that are so fucking perverted. And y'all, I'm in my 50s. I was still in my 40s. I was in my 40s at this time. So so they were perverted then. It is so many damn freaky ass females that are perverted, that or dykes. And that's why I told y'all I'm going to redo the video. I coined the word man dykes, MAN-DYKES, or without a dash, man dykes. And these are, I'm not going to say what it is again because I deleted the video that I had the definition, because I deleted that video off of YouTube. And I said I'll just do it once I didn't listen to it before I posted it up, and I normally do. And once I listened to it, I said, nah, I'll just record that again, because I was saying other things like here, but that's not the reason why. I had to re-record it, and it's on my list to re-record. So my sis got out the shower, and when she got out the shower, I was like, okay, 26:05 in, I was like, oh my God, sis, I'm listening to this video and I hear, to my surprise, someone coming in my apartment. I will tell you in another video what this person said, and I will post that audio, okay, so that you guys can hear. But in the meantime, my sis had gotten out the shower, and I'm like, sis, oh my God. I said, guess what? She said, what? I said, I left my damn stuff in the van, Dodge Caravan. She said, what? And the reason why I was so upset about it is because once my sis told me that I can come and take a shower, you guys, and I knew I was being stalked, and I knew I was being followed everywhere I went. I didn't want them I didn't want her to be found. I didn't want them to find her and start spying on her. I didn't want them to know where I was, blah, 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 that kind of shit. So what I did was I parked at an intersection. I knew where she lived, and I parked. At least she told me, where to go. And I hurriedly got some stuff, gathered some of my stuff, and I parked at an intersection and walked down to her condo. Parked at an apartment complex because I wanted them to think, tracking devices on my vehicle, I was in that apartment complex on the street. I parked on the street to make them think I was in that apartment complex somewhere. They didn't know. So she said, oh, you want me to go out there with you? I said, man, would you? Keep in mind, remember I said our phones are charging on the bar, the little bar area. You can put food through there from the kitchen, And I said, would you? Okay. This condo had 24 units, 24 parking spaces. And behind that, okay, you got condo, you got parking spaces behind them. And then you got an alley. Okay. And then it was homes on the other side, just like that. Condo, behind the condo was a parking spaces you can walk through. In other words, you can walk through to the parking lot. And once you get to the parking lot, the alley is right there. And this stupid dog, okay, barking really crazy. And then, because there were homes, and the dog was in the backyard. So we're walking and talking. And of course, I knew I was going to greet this dog because I saw the dog, and I saw him coming, and I said, oh, Lord, he was just barking and barking. So finally we passed him. This area at the time, it was like a total renovation for this entire area of Dallas. Either they were building new apartment complexes or they were renovating. I guess I said somebody, in hindsight, that was a tax. Something was going on with the taxes, because every apartment complex, condo, whatever, they were renovating like crazy. And so when we walked, there was this space that was empty. There was no apartment there. It may have been a house or something there before. It was just like an empty field. But you can look across the field, 2921 in, and see the street, the intersection. You can even see my car, my Dodge Caravan. I actually parked behind a vehicle on the street. And so I was real close to the intersection. And I could see my vehicle. As we're going down the alley, you know how you get the back of your palm and stop and touch someone's stomach and tell them to stop, walk. I said, stop, sis, stop, look. And I touched her stomach. I was like, stop. And she said, what? Because you can see right across through the field and you can see my vehicle. And I said, look. I said, oh my God. And I was making so much fun of it because for the first time in a long time, I was able to shower. I was able to get away without them knowing where I was. And they thought I was there, like I said, and I wasn't. And I said, oh, look, I said, they all behind my vehicle. And I'm at the intersection. So, one car was behind my vehicle. One car was on the other side, going in the opposite direction. And with the blinkers on and all that, whatever you call it, the parking lights, they were looking for me. The vehicle that was behind me, I'm sweating out here, y'all, was a truck. And it was so damn close to my vehicle with the bright lights on. Y'all hear me? Stay with me. I'm talking, it was literally basically, because what I did, because I was sleeping in my vehicle, I had like curtain-like stuff up to the window. So they didn't know if I was either in my vehicle or I was effing somebody, which they wouldn't be able to see, okay, in that apartment complex that I parked next to. And they don't even, y'all, this is a story they don't even know about. You hear me? I wanted them to think I was in that apartment complex. I wanted them to think that whatever they was thinking, I wanted them to get mad because they didn't know where I was, because they were on me like white on rice just like today, wherever I went. So for the first time, I felt safe. I felt I could take my clothes off, all my clothes, and take a shower, and I did. And it felt so good. And I may have been crying because, that was not something I was able to do. I could do it, but I wasn't going to do it. And my when I touched her stomach and told her to stop, and I said, "Ooh, look," I said, "they looking for me," and I'm being sarcastic, okay? That alley led to one of those streets that I'm in. You can turn into the alley from the street, and I can hear this truck, and it was a truck. It sounded like a truck, and it was a truck coming down that street, but we couldn't see it yet. When that truck, I told her to stop. Of course. When that truck passed the alley, and it was close, that alley was close to the intersection, it had to stop. Green truck from my apartment complex, y'all. Same fucking dark jade green truck with the flatbed. One of those trucks from the 80s that people would drive that had the little mini trucks, or how can I explain? With the long bed, but they looked flat, an old school truck from the 80s, and that idiot got right there at that intersection and started spinning around and, probably had been driving by looking for me, past, they, not just the cars that were behind me or the truck behind me and the car that was on the side, on the street, other street, making an L, in other words, a corner, for lack of words. This was collaborative. In other words, it wasn't just one vehicle being driven. They were looking for me, on the hunt, and couldn't find me. And sun has gone down, that kind of shit. So this truck got right there to the intersection, but didn't go all the way to the intersection, maybe a vehicle length before getting to the very, very intersection of the street. And it got right there. And no, lie, it did. Pulled right up to the intersection and started going, you guys, going around. And police very, very prominent in that area. Because the area, not because it's the police, it's Dallas, but the area was a lot of Hispanics, and it was also an area where there were streets where the homes were like, oh my God, huge homes. So it was a collection of different races that lived in this area. But Gaston, let me just say Gaston. If you ever come to Dallas, visit Gaston, the Gaston area, Swiss Ave, but then go down Swiss Avenue. Okay, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, oh, okay, I see the difference. What she's talking about. So, you guys, when he did that, I started crying, and I said, "Sis, I know you thought I was lying," and she said, "No." She said, "You, who is this? You don't know where you want to go?" That's a female. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. She just came this way. She just came this way, went around that way. Now she's coming back out. You see what I'm saying? These fucking man dykes. They act like fucking men. And or they're doing the work of their men. You know, this is their money. This is how they're making their fucking money. And I'm busting that ass and getting pissed off. I'm not the only one. So anyway, I said, "Sis, I know you thought I was lying, but I'm crying profusely." And she literally turned around and hugged. You know, she this, even though I called her my little sis because she was younger than me, she was also an Amazon. My sis was tall, like she wasn't. Not only was she bigger than I am, she was taller than I am. You know, so I was more like her little sister or whatever in the situation. You know, in our relationship, because we just loved each other. And she turned around and grabbed me and she hugged me, and she said, "No," she said, "Not one time did I think you were lying." You know, and I was just crying, and she said, "Come on, I got something for you to put on." Yeah, that's what happened. I had to say all that to say this. That has been happening. It's a new day. It's after midnight. But yesterday, that shit was happening all day. I'm close to the places that I normally go to, but I'm not there. So I can see the cars. I can hear the cars. I can hear them going around in circles. I can hear them spinning around. And not only that, yesterday I got in late, the day before yesterday, and same thing, you guys. I'm looking at this fucking, because it's kind of like now they know, even if I'm not in an area that I'm normally not in or rarely in, it's kind of like I'm protected to a degree, because they know I'm there, but they can't find me. It's like she's here somewhere, but we just can't put our finger on where the hell she is. And yeah, spinning around, y'all, all the smoke coming up. And this idiot was doing it for so long. I'm like, okay, he's just gonna do that for about 3 times. This idiot sped around in that street. This is not yesterday. This is the day before yesterday. They're getting madder and madder. Let me tell y'all how psycho motherfuckers are. Okay. How in the hell are you 20 years, y'all, total? How in the hell are you following somebody like this and you have never even fucking had sex with them? You know why? I'm taking my energy back. I've taken my energy back. You can't do the spells on me. They keep fucking with my hair, though. I got a video. They keep messing with my hair on and on, but they're bald headed. I'm telling you, I guarantee. And you know, I told you I listen to certain tarot readers, and certain tarot readers, I've never got a reading from them. They probably don't even know who the hell I am, but they're confirming. She says, someone's bald headed. You know, he'll say, someone is losing their hair. Someone has lost their hair. Or someone's trying to make you lose your hair. Any combination of that. It's true. You know, and I know they're not talking to me. I'm just confirmation. But you guys, yeah, they were doing that all after midnight now. Keep this in mind. It's after 1 o'clock. It's all probably 2 o'clock in the morning. Yesterday, almost everywhere I went, the spinning of the vehicles was occurring. In lieu of them, they saw me. I mean, I'm out. I'm gone. I'm walking though. Yeah, I'm moving around. I'm on the train. I'm on the bus. You know, I'm doing what I'm doing. I ain't gonna tell you everything, but you know, you're in the vehicle. I'm walking. I know how to go through these trees. You can't. That kind of stuff. And I'll smile with my little smirk and smile at them when they're close to me and see me. You guys, just be careful. This shit is real. And I'm so glad that more and more people are realizing that, you know, this shit is real. And not only that, hi. it's affecting a lot of Black African people, mostly, predominantly. 90% of gang stalking victims are Black people. It's the new age slavery. Oh, we don't have to put you on a ship. We don't have to put you on a ship to watch your body and rape you virtually and see everything on your body. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. You don't have to do that to jack off. So anyway, I'm going to turn this phone off, you guys, because I have a video on here that I do not want to lose. And I hear someone on their back. I know who it is right here. Totally involved in my gang stalking, and I don't give a damn if they hear me. I'm going to go in, and you guys just stay prayed up, man. You know, I'm just a little exhausted because I've been gone. But I'm still happy and everything. I'm cool. Everything's okay. But I'm gonna, I don't keep my SIM card or my battery in my phone, so I'm back. So let me take it out. The SIM card's not in here though. But in other words, let me go on upstairs and get in here. My grandbaby has to go to school today, so and I am extremely thirsty. Hasta la vista. Well, I'm not gonna even do that. All right, y'all. Much love. Bye.